Switch to streamlined again, I guess.
All right, we're live.
We are live.
3, 2, 1. So, all right, everybody, thanks for being here today. This is kind of a good practice for me because I'll be going to Dallas here shortly, probably next couple of weeks. We're doing a pitch to some investors out there. But I wanted to go over Cryptoworld's pitch deck so you guys know what we're doing here at the store and also the future plans. So thank you for being here. My name is Jeff Wade for those on YouTube and Facebook Live that don't know me yet. So I was one of the co-founders for Cryptoworld. So Cryptoworld is the first that I know of brick and mortar cryptocurrency one-stop shop in the US, if not the world. So we started this August 24th of 2021. So we're about 6 months into this. And the first 6 months was basically just trying to understand, how we can help support how we can basically help with our mission of helping educate the community on everything about crypto, and also share our passions with folks around, because there are a lot of like-minded individuals, people in this room, and we all believe that crypto is the future. It's here to stay. It has the same, if not greater, impact as the internet when it first came. So the problem that we're facing today in the space is the lack of trust and confidence. And with the news of everything that rug pulls that you hear in the news, or these coins that are on the internet that a lot of people are losing money on. So one of the things that that folks want to know is they want to be able to go somewhere, right, that they can trust, some place that they can talk to. I think we did a stat the last 6 months that most people that are the crypto curious right now, like the generation that's with that generation, they want to go somewhere, somebody they can talk to. And so with Cryptoworld, it allows, basically, because it's a brick and mortar, it allows for that. Along with that, with brick and mortars, you hear in the news and how they're pretty much failing, right? You hear JCPenney's and some of these old brick and mortar stores that aren't doing well because Amazon and a lot of the online companies are able to take their customers, because now you can just order something on Amazon and it'll come to you. So it was slight risk trying to open up a brick and mortar store because of that. But we knew, because of the lack of trust and confidence, also the lack of knowledge in this space, and not having a go-to place, that there could be something with it. So that's why the first 6 months of our company was basically a test, right? So brick and mortar is a solution. It allows for that trust and confidence. With us being able to help educate, we have a classroom in the store you guys are seeing in today. So we have an instructor-led educational series here. Anything from learning the basics to learning mining, learning about NFTs, the metaverse, and also customized solutions to where somebody might want something specific. We had somebody come in here that didn't want to do a classroom setting. They wanted just one-on-one solution. So we were able to help them out. And with this gentleman, he basically, with what's going on in Europe, he was trying to buy something from Europe, and they only take Bitcoin. And he had no clue what Bitcoin was. He's heard about it. So he came in here for us to help him with the issue of trying to basically get Bitcoin for him and transfer that Bitcoin to Europe so he can buy this equipment that he needed. So he paid for a one-to-one solution. Also, having a community that we're building here with the Crypto Over Coffee that we do. We have a Bitcoin Over Beer on Thursdays. We actually have one this coming Thursday. If you guys don't know, it's going to be on Metaverse. So we have a speaker talking about the Metaverse, which is pretty exciting because it's a whole new world, right? So it's there's a reason that Facebook changed their name to Meta. There's something there, even though they're losing a lot of employees and billions of dollars right now. So pretty interesting with what's going on with this space. So as far as in the market, 2021, there was about 300 million crypto users worldwide, and the adoption rate is roughly about 113% year over year. And if you compare that the last 10 years, or if you compare that with internet, like the first 10 years they were in existence, it grew roughly about a 63% year over year. So this industry, this technology is growing almost twice as fast as the internet, which is very exciting. And by 2025, estimates about 2.8 billion people that'll be using crypto or invested in crypto. I think what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, it's really kind of opened the eyes for a lot of folks, both bad and good, right? We have sanctions with Russia. They've lost $300 billion of their wealth because of being pulled out of the SWIFT system that they have no access to. And also with that, there was about $100 million that were donated to Ukrainians, right? So it's a when people talk to me about the bad of Russians circumventing the SWIFT system by using Bitcoin or other form of crypto, I tell folks that it's when cars first came out, automobiles first came out, there was a lot of people that were dying from car accidents, or driving too fast, or it took out another industry, horse and wagon, that completely disappeared because of automobiles. Because people died using automobiles doesn't mean that we should completely ban automobiles, right? So it's the same with this industry. It's a technology that we can't ban. So it's something that basically we have to put a seatbelt on, right? So there's some regulations that are going to be coming, and we have to be open to that, because similar to cars, there has to be something, right? People are losing money in crypto that probably that should be. There's companies that probably shouldn't be allowed to put out these other rug pulls and these other coins that are affecting this industry. So the market size for crypto is roughly 2.1 trillion. I don't know what the market size is, but this was from 2021. And the projections for 2025 is roughly about $10 trillion. So you can see that the market size and the market validation is there for Cryptoworld. So the products and services that we have here, for those that have been here, you guys know what we do. But for those that haven't been to Cryptoworld, or it's first time watching this, so majority of our, so we sell merchandise, of course. We sell, we do classes here right now. We charge for our classes. I'll talk a little bit more about the foundation that we started to hopefully help offset some of the educational. We have a Bitcoin ATM. We're looking to expand that, because right now I think somebody's renting this space from us, this gentleman that owns this Bitcoin ATM. So as we open up more locations, we're looking to have our own ATM business for our stores. For the majority of our revenue right now is from the miners. So we sell a lot of miners here. We signed up with a company that allows us to sell hosting solutions. So we're going to be hosting miners probably at the end of this month. We'll make that available. So somebody that wants to come in, they don't want to buy a miner for their home because it's too loud, or electricity is just too expensive, or their wife would kill them if they have that in the house. Whatever it is. The other option is to buy the mining equipment and have it hosted in a facility. A lot of the facilities normally have the electric rate is a lot less expensive. I think we pay about 9.5, 10 cents roughly in this area, which is still pretty good overall in the state, or in the US. It's one of the cheapest. But right now we're working with a company, like 30 miles from here, that can get us at 4.1 cents, right? So that's going to help a lot. And I think our other partner was able to get an agreement with the company in Illinois for 3.5 cents. So those rates are just amazing rates. So if you don't want to do it, at home, there is going to be options for you for hosting solutions for those that want to get into that. Another big part that that we're looking to do with our stores is we're going to set up the stores as staking pools. So roughly $18 billion were of revenue was given to stakers last year. So $18 billion that we have an opportunity to really be the first one to enter a brick and mortar space marketing the staking side, because a lot of people stake. And what we found after 6 months of kind of doing the studies is we get people that come in here, both new and experienced folks. The more newer ones are the ones that we're really able to help out. We have classes, support, we can kind of guide them to a direction to help them get going. And we have mining equipment, so forth. But what we found is the ones that are more experienced, we really can't help them out. They really know this space, they understand it. They might buy mining equipment, right, or buy a shirt. But outside of that, we really can't help them with what their needs are. With the staking side, though, most people that have been in the space, they're usually staking. And for those that don't know what staking is, it's really utilizing your existing coins like Ethereum, which is going proof of stake, or Cardano, or Avalanche, or Theta. A lot of these proof of stake, which allows you have the option. You can either just hold on to it, put it in your wallet, sit on it, trade it, whatever you want to do, or you can stake it. Which staking just allows your coin to be put back in the network to be utilized for liquidity, for minting, or for minting NFTs, gas fees, maybe leveraging or things like that. So for doing that, you get anywhere from 5 to 10%. I don't know. There might be some that I think that pay more for staking. But if you're somebody that's looking to hold on long term, probably want to stake your Ethereum or Cardano or your Avalanche, because it's basically free money that you're missing out on. So what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to capitalize on this market. Usually, like I'll give an example for Cardano. It's normally about 7% pie for the revenue. 5% goes to the staker, and 2% goes to the node operator. So we're hoping to capitalize on that 2%. But it changes depending on the coin, right? So it's going to be different depending on what it is. For Ethereum alone, once they go proof of stake, 2025, you're looking at about $40 billion in staking revenue. And if we're, if I'm just calculating that, I would say if 20% goes to the node operator, that's basically what, 20% of 40 billion? Is that 800 million?
Yeah.
And if we're to capture just 1% of that, that's $80 million, right? And I think as we open more locations, as we do these free events, as we do crypto over coffee, Bitcoin over beer, and we're doing on the roadmap, we're going to be doing a Cryptoworld convention. So we'll be doing events and inviting, Tone Bays, Willie Woo. We got some other folks that we met over the year that would come to our events. So yes, we do all this stuff, right? So we do the merchandise, we do the classes, we do the Bitcoin ATM. Eventually, the majority of our revenue is going to be from the staking, the mining side of things. It just makes sense for us to be able to do that. On the mining side, there was about $8 billion in mining revenue, and it's roughly growing at a 6.6% annual growth rate. So by 2028, we're looking at about $13+ billion in mining revenue. I don't believe this includes the hosting revenue yet. More and more countries are realizing that the mining side is very important, especially for Bitcoin. And I truly believe that, I was watching a YouTube show a few days ago about how a gentleman that was worked for the Space Force, MIT major. I think he was hired on by the government to help really guide them on the whole crypto just since Biden had that executive order. But he compared the mining equipment, the S-19, as the new weapon. He had a gun out, right? I don't know if you guys saw. The gun we've been using for hundreds of years, but the mining equipment is going to be the new technology, new weapon, because of what's like what was going on with Russia. They lost all that money, right? That they have no access to. So having sovereign wealth is very important to a lot of folks, especially folks here in the U.S. And wars are won and lost with how much money you have, right? The government, if they can buy more guns and advance their technology and weapons, the better chance they have for winning a war. So Bitcoin mining, nobody can take that away from you. So that's pretty enlightening. If you guys haven't seen it, I would check it out. I think Pong had him on his show. So pretty interesting on kind of his thoughts on why miners are the new weapons of choice. So our business model is pretty simple. I think we talked a little bit about it. So we do these as free events. We have classes. So with the newer folks that are getting into the space, we're helping guide them. We're letting them know about staking. And then, hey, by the way, if you want to earn an extra 5% on your Ethereum, well, you can stake with Cryptoworld. And folks that have been in this space for a long time, that are coming to our free events, I think 9 out of 10 people that want to support would want to support our store, because they're probably getting the same staking rate, that same 5% with Cardano with our node compared to some random node they don't know who it is. So I think that's going to be able to help keep the store sustainable and help out with our business model. So we're planning on franchising Cryptoworld. Our goal, kind of a lofty goal, but we're looking at about 500 locations in the next 3 to 4 years. We already have about 30 commitments for franchises, letters of intents once we get this going. We slated about 2023 as the first time, or the one is when we would give out franchises. We're right now kind of just making sure that we have the foundation built before we offer that up. But we do have letters of intents for franchises. And as far as the staking, like I said, roughly about 2% is given to the node holder, which would be Cryptoworld. And let's see. Also, with the staking side, another thing that we want to add is to be able to basically, for those that are staking with us, we want to be able to create what's called just reward tokens. Those reward tokens are only for Cryptoworld merchandise. So, if you stake with us, our goal is to be able to, depending on how much you're staking, we would give you reward tokens. Then you can use to buy mining equipment or anything Cryptoworld has. So that would be kind of the extra benefit for staking with Cryptoworld. We did start a foundation, Crypto Without Borders. We just got the 501c3 designation about 10 days ago. And with the foundation, we're looking to educate the community, inner city, high schools, universities, and so forth in crypto. There's so much grant money out there right now for education, especially in the crypto space. I think Ethereum Foundation, Crypto.com, Uniswap Foundation, FTX Foundation, they have put money aside just to help out, with the educational side. So our foundation, if you guys weren't here last week, Andrew spoke about it a little bit, but he's going to be the executive director for the foundation. And he's the one that's going to be going out to communities. He talked a lot about the Del Mar divide, and how for many years that Del Mar divide has really separated the rich and the poor, the black and the white, right? So it's been an issue with St. Louis, and so we're hoping with the foundation we're able to at least make a dent. If we can, I think there's about 4.1 million people that are considered unbankable or don't have bank accounts. So with the foundation, we're hoping to get more people bankable, getting them educated on crypto. Anybody that has a cell phone is considered bankable, because with this technology, the cell phone can really make a difference in getting your wallets and that and so forth set up. So the market adoption, events like Crypto Over Coffee, the Crypto Over Beer, the conference that we're looking to do with Cryptoworld, and also partnerships with some crypto vendors, influencers. We have so many influencers. One guy on our team has over 100,000 followers on YouTube and social media. I call him Michael Jordan of mining because all he does, he has over 3,000 miners that he has a farm. So he's part of our team, and I'll show that slide of kind of who they are. And then, like I said, the classes that are taught both on-site and online allows customers to gain confidence in that. So competition, we are the only one right now that has a brick and mortar store that's doing what we're doing. And we really had to think as far as a competition, outside the box, because, there are companies that are doing things like staking and mining and selling products. A lot of them are online, like minersdepot.com. GameStop, they changed their store to NFT gaming store. But as soon as they find out what we're doing with the staking, it just makes sense for GameStop and other organizations to offer at least a staking solution for their customers. And I think that maybe companies like Best Buy and some of these big retail stores would probably get into this market knowing how much revenue people are making. And we're not on the staking side. We're not recreating anything. It's been around for many years, and for those that understand staking or are in it, it's something that very lucrative, and everybody should be doing if they have a proof of stake coin. So I think when the revenue starts showing that 18 to 45 billion dollars would be right, that's a pretty big number. So you're going to see other large organizations get into the space, and so the staking pool. There are staking pools, right? So they are a competitor. They're also you're seeing some exchanges and wallets that offer staking. What's going on with Europe? A lot more people are pulling out of exchanges, so which would be good for us, right? But they are a competition for us as we build out the staking pools. Our competitive advantage is we're first to market. No other company is doing what Cryptoworld is doing right now. Brick and mortar, we can easily guide our customers into not only our staking but our mining solutions. We're offering on-site online classes, and back to the foundation. So what we would like to eventually do is once we get funded with the foundation and get a lot of these grants, we would like for the foundation to be able to help pay for a lot of these events, Crypto Over Coffee, Bitcoin Over Beer, and also some of the classes that we offer. So we're hoping that we can then start marketing a free Bitcoin basics or free mining class at Cryptoworld funded by the foundation. So that's something that we're looking to foundation on. So the team right now, of course, I'm on there. And guys, the CTO, he just was added to the team about 2 months ago. And the reason we added him to the team is because he basically helped one CBD store. He helped open one CBD store, and in 3 years they opened up 500. So that's kind of the trajectory that I want to do with Cryptoworld. So he understands the back end and the do's and don'ts as far as an expansion to 500. And so he loves crypto. He's a big blockchain guy. He actually sought us out, flew all the way from Tampa because he wanted to be a part of this. Rudy is somebody we met a couple weeks ago, and his expertise, he's our chief hacking officer, but his expertise is, he's been in cybersecurity for, I think, 14 years. He owns his own company and he helps out a lot of organizations. He has a huge affinity for blockchain. And as we set up the staking nodes, we want to make them as secure and safe as possible. And that's why we added Rudy to the team. I talked about Michael Carter. He's our chief mining officer right now. He's building a 5 megawatt mining operation in Illinois. He's the one that's been able to, help us, guide us. Like I said, I call him Michael Jordan of mining. He's got over 100,000 followers on YouTube and in social media, but truly an expert in this field. And so he goes by Bitsby Trippin. So if you guys want to look him up, he's on there. Matt, he's on there just for the legal side. He helped us with our trademarking for Cryptoworld. So we should have our trademark shortly, filed around December. Gary Kellman, he helps with supply chain. He has 14 employees in China. Somebody that we're going to lean on, especially when we bring more mining equipment and different solutions for the store. Han Ko, he's on the board of the Asian Chamber with me. He's actually, April 5th, he's bringing in 5 Korean companies to St. Louis. They're all going to come here to Cryptoworld, but they're all in the crypto space. So it'll be very interesting just hearing from South Korea and what's going on there, and some of the companies that are big into crypto. If you guys haven't heard about South Korea, they have a new president there, President Yoon. President Yoon he won by less than 1%, and very big into crypto. He wants to basically make South Korea the crypto country of the world. And so it'll be interesting because there's going to be, competition. And it'll be interesting to see how the U.S. kind of, what they do to be able to become the dominant country. Best thing for the space was China pulling out all its miners, and because I think over 51% of our mining, of the mining hash, was in China before they banned crypto and mining and Bitcoin. So it's something that I think is going to affect them in the long run, because, like I said earlier, I think the country that has the most Bitcoin is going to be the dominant country, similar to the U.S. As far as in supposedly we have the most gold. And that's why we've been an economic power for so many years. So more to come on that. But Hanko, he's really they have people in Korea that want to take Cryptoworld out there. With his help and his relationships, not only with the Asian Chamber, with South Korea, I think it's a good match. But April 5th, come to the store. You'll get a chance to see some of the Korean companies presenting. Some testimonials. Thanks to Cryptoworld, was able to move my crypto with confidence. Jason, you guys might know him, but he needed to move a significant amount of funds from one wallet to another wallet, and he's fairly new to it, and he just wanted us to sit with him to make sure that he was doing it right and not sending it to some random address. Then another one, every time I go to Cryptoworld, I learn something new. Sharon, I don't know where Sharon is, but so I'm sure you guys that are here, you guys are at least picking up something. We have new speakers that come out and talk. I have somebody speaking about charitable remainder trusts in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. But that's something that I think is very, very, very interesting, and I'm looking to start something like that too with crypto, because it allows you to trade within a trust without having to pay any capital gains. And I think with our foundation in Cryptoworld, we're hoping then to be able to, because with a charitable remainder trust, you need to designate charity to it. I ran by our executive director as far as maybe helping set up trusts for free, right? Because the foundation then could be a beneficiary for the trust. So just something we're talking about for that. And then last one, staff is incredibly knowledgeable and friendly. It's great to know there's a place to go for everything anyone could need. So that's kind of the things that we're seeing out there. We're we like this type. It was 6 months of trial and error for you guys that have been here. It's a passion of ours to help educate, but also at the same time we want to be able to make sure that it's sustainable. As we open up more locations, and I'm pretty confident that with the staking and the mining, it's going to help keep our store, keep this going. So what we're doing is we're doing a WeFunder. I don't know anybody heard of WeFunder. It's the biggest platform for doing. It's similar to Kickstarter, but it's more of an equity raise. You guys are familiar with Kickstarter, but we're utilizing WeFunder. They helped us evaluate the company at $25 million, and so what we're looking to do is what's called a SAFE. It's a simple agreement for future equity. And so there's no equity given up front. It's basically the equity is going to be based on our second raise, because we're going to be raising roughly about $2.5 million just to get the staking nodes going to basically get that started. For the staking nodes, we do have to fund the nodes too. I think for Avalanche, you need $200,000. And for Avalanche, if there's not $200,000, then there's no rewards given. So we're looking to use the funds to fund basically the Avalanche to get it going. So then we can open it up to the community. So that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to use WeFunder, and like I said, for those that don't understand the SAFE, it's basically if we evaluate the company at, let's say, 25 million, we're raising 2.5 million, 10% equity roughly. And then when we raise basically on our Series A raise or the next round, if we raise, I'm just putting numbers out, but if we raise, $25 million on the next raise, evaluate the company at 250 million, then you, the investor that initially raised the 2.5 or was part of the 2.5 million, would get 10 times what the next raise would be. So if we value it at $10 per share, right, you would get basically 100 shares for the same price. So use of funds, basically marketing is one of the things that we're looking to do. We haven't paid any money on marketing. It's kind of like I was telling you guys, we kind of just put this together and just see what direction we were going with it. So we're looking to use some of the money on marketing, purchasing the equipment for staking, some inventory for mining equipment. We have miners here. You guys see these S19s have already been sold for a gentleman that's putting 50 S19s in a container. So he's waiting for his container to be set up and going before he takes them. So we're looking to get more mining equipment here. Also looking to bring in on more staff. We need somebody to focus on the mining sales. We need somebody to help with the marketing and the social media, things like that. And also a portion of it we're going to be using for expansion to build out the second location, which is going to be kind of we're going to start from basically a blank canvas for the second location, and then with that, it's going to look like how the future franchises would look like. So we would bring in an expert in the retail space and how the look and feel should be. That's much it. So anybody have any questions? And I kind of went through that pretty quick.
Where did you come up with the 500 locations in 3 years number? Is there like a specific reason that you picked that up?
Well, it was one of those things that Daniel, I talked to him about it, and with what we're doing, because we're first to market, we probably want to capitalize on it as quick and as fast as possible, and utilizing kind of his expertise. He says 500 would be doable because he did it with another franchise.
Okay. Other question on that.
brought up a good point about your first to market and all that, but a brick and mortar place like GameStop,
Mhm.
would there be a potential opportunity to do some sort of a JV with them to bring in your services with their existing brick and mortar locations? Because they've already got those.
Right. I think there would be. They're more focused on gaming and NFTs. And we've had several requests for creating NFTs for businesses and for individuals, right? So with NFTs, I had a business out in somewhere in Fallon. She's a franchise, but she wants to do an NFT to be able to reward her, basically an NFT to reward her customer base. So there might be a collaboration with GameStop on that side of things if they open that up as far as in helping with NFTs. So it's kind of right now trying to figure out what GameStop's business model is going to look like because it's something that they released a couple months ago, but nobody really knows exactly how it's going to be utilized for brick and mortar.
I'm just saying because they're carrying a ton of debt because of they got to pay the rent.
Right.
And so when all that stuff went sideways, whenever it was.
Yeah. Well, I think
there's a way maybe to
yeah.
maybe bring in the educational part.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there could be. I know their stores are not that big, so maybe we can collaborate with them where they offer education, but they in the Cryptoworld for education, or we, if they do have events, we can bring teachers there to be able to help educate. Yes.
Yeah, just to comment on one of the slides when you're trying to say like how crypto helps like the unbankable, like with the phone. Maybe let me do your official thing to expand upon it. Because not just like your phone, you have a desktop computer, even a web browser. Technically go to the library and use a web-based wallet. If you want to like show how broad we accept it. If someone can access a computer or a web browser, they can set
well, yeah. I mean, the main reason with in El Salvador, it took them 30 or 40 years to get 1.2 million people bankable, and in 30 days they got over 4 million people bankable when they went over to legal tender. And the main reason is even though that you live in a third world country or or the U.S., most people have cell phones. So I think that's pretty interesting, and also it helps with the adoption with this because even the local people that don't have a ton of money, they have cell phones. So that's the main reason we talked about that. But yeah, I mean,
you expand upon it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like say a homeless person to go to a public library, they can technically make a web wallet using a public computer. Maybe print a QR code.
Yeah, no, that's true. Or we can have Cryptoworld wallets that we can give them.
Oh,
right?
that'd be nice. Yeah.
Just scan it here, right? So, but I did get a chance to meet with Bobby Lee, Charlie Lee's brother. Charlie Lee created Litecoin, but basically he created the Valet wallets, which we carry here. But they're looking to work with us on white labeling some of his Valet wallets for Cryptoworld. So more to that down the road. Mike.
Beyond general adoption, what do you think are some of the largest speed bumps you guys are going to face in, say, the next 18 months in regard to this working?
As far as adoption?
Yeah.
I
mean, really beyond adoption. Because, I mean, that really is that's the mountain.
Right. I think a lot of it is going to be on government regulations. I think as the government, adopts this technology, I know they're working on maybe a digital coin, U.S. dollar digital coin. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but I think governments, as they set these regulations and more institutions get involved, I think I saw J.P. Morgan yesterday bought a ton of Bitcoin. So I think that if we would have done this a year and a half, 2 years ago, it probably would have been a long shot, right? Opening up a brick and mortar store. But I think what's going on in today's world with Russia and Ukraine and El Salvador and Mexico looking to be the next country for Bitcoin legal tender, I think it's going to be a little easier. But I think government, of course, is going to be the biggest thing.
Sure. To piggyback on that, can you describe some of the legislation movement you guys have fostered here?
Yeah, so we've had been working with Phil Cristofanelli here locally. He's a state rep, and also we've been working with Taylor Burks, he's out of Columbia, Missouri, and he's the leading candidate to win the U.S. congressional seat. And Taylor Burks, myself, Phil, and our team, we've been working with them to get Missouri, similar to Wyoming, and having some basically some framework in place to make Missouri more friendly to crypto. And parts of that is we're not recreating the framework. It's more we're utilizing what Wyoming has done. Wyoming is really leading the charge in adoption. So some of the things are making Bitcoin a different asset class for taxation, or not taxing it at all. I know. I think the new president of South Korea, they are looking to pass a bill where any capital gains on your crypto would not go into effect until $42,000. So it's pretty interesting. If we could maybe help something like that here, I think that would be pretty neat. But yeah, we're getting also a lot of politicians or folks running for election are calling us to help them set up, just their website to be able to accept crypto as a donation. So working with folks like that, you'll probably see a press release in the next couple of weeks of a pretty good sized group that's running for a seat that we're helping out. But the more we can help educate politicians and get them involved, it's definitely right now like the sexy thing, right? Crypto is very sexy for politicians. They want the vote. I think when I talk to politicians, I'm telling them that the folks that are in crypto, they're very passionate about crypto. They're also big voters, and we can also help influence a lot of folks. So they're seeing that the crypto community can be pretty strong, right? So pretty exciting stuff. Yes.
Hi. So the main reason that I came to Cryptoworld is for the community, right? You can get online, you can shop for your miners, you can learn all kinds of YouTube videos. But I wanted to say who's in my area, in the crypto space, and meet people and shake hands. When I think about the slide where you were talking about the difference between a beginner in crypto or some more advanced, and how Cryptoworld can really help or help less for the more experienced miners, it made me think of the repair workshops that there are. I think no matter what stage you're at, you need to know how to repair your miners.
Yeah.
And from some of the conventions I've attended, or the people that repaired mine or taken a very long time to repair miners, it seems like there's a opportunity to make a lot, generate revenue there. So from your revenue slide, from perspective that people could come here and be at a workshop, meet people, I feel like that's definitely something Cryptoworld should be offering. Is that something on the table?
Yeah, so we actually, Mike Carter is part of Cryptoworld, but he actually just built a facility about 20 miles from here. It's a mining facility for repair. So I think Jonas, what is it, 20,000 square foot? It's a pretty big facility, but we're going to be partnering with him to be able to, this place, we probably can't set up a facility, right, to be able to do the repair work here, but we can take them in, send it to his facility, and they would work on it, whether it's a ASICs or I don't know if they do GPUs, but no, they do a lot of ASIC repair work out there. Okay.
So a depot kind of thing where you would take it in, it's then shunted to repair center and brought back.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes.
What about in terms of just workshops, other than setting something up for repair?
Right.
You can have more or less facilitating community by giving, beyond just classes that are educating, also workshops that are on hand, sort of going through the whole experience of building a miner or repairing it.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great idea. And I think the foundation is going to really help with setting up the workshops.
And Lauren's setting one up too.
Who is?
Lauren.
Oh, Lauren. Okay. Yeah. Lauren does our mining classes. Very passionate in this space, but yeah, he's somebody that's going to be probably setting the workshop. But yeah, the more we can get people to understand that, mining isn't what you hear in the news. I think most folks know that Ameren was mining for many years, and it was more of a test for them to see, how it would help with their grid, and if they can generate revenue as most people know you can. But they did for 2 years. They were doing really well. The benefit too is their grids were always 100%, right? So they never had to waste electricity, because with electricity you can't store it. So if you're only utilizing 60%, 40% is being wasted. So their goal was to be at 100%, and whenever they need power, then they would turn off the miners. So they were generating Bitcoin, helping support the network, the Bitcoin network, and also helping their grids. And as most people know, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch put out an article that made them really look bad as far as in how it was bad for the environment. So they were forced then to shut off their mining operation. And one of the reasons we started the foundation is they were looking to donate the mining equipment to us for so we could help educate, right? So, but there's and I talked about Carter. He's working with a group in Illinois. Like I said, he got 3.5 cents, but part of the deal was for him to help that utility company do what Ameren was doing. So they want to do what Ameren was doing. They don't care about the press or anything like that, because it's helping out their grids. They're also going to rebate the surrounding community. So if they're paying 10 cents, then they would be paying, I think, 7 or 8 cents. So it would help them with their electricity costs. So yeah, exciting stuff. But like I said, we're 6 months into it. Our focus is going to be the staking and the mining, and then the education. But there's never you would have asked me 6 months ago when we opened the store what our focus was, and it's definitely different than what it is today. So we're probably going to shift some things as we learn and as we open up more locations. But I definitely think that this model can be very successful, and not only helping with being the rising tide for crypto and educating folks, but for those that get involved in the week funder that we're going to do. Because somebody asked me, why don't you just go with like a group that will give you $2.5 million and write the check. I think with myself and the whole ethos of the crypto community, we want to be able to help out more than one person, right? So if one person writes a check, we're just, as Cryptoworld grows to 500 locations, helping that one person. I want to get 1,000 people and help them out as we grow. I want them to cheer us, root us, be part of this community, and also monetize from it as we become successful. So, any other questions?
That's great. Where do we find out more about Cryptoworld, Jeff?
Yeah, so the week funder is actually going to go live April 2nd.
Yeah.
April 2nd. So we'll send out the emails on that. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, email, or stop by the store or call. But thank you. This was definitely
Great work.
this was good. Good practice for
Yeah,
All right.
stop it. I spoke for 49 minutes.